Cindy? It's me, Scar. I have photos that I'm dying to show you. Can I come? Photos? Photos of what? Last week, silly. They are really hot. Don't you want to see them? I was stunned that my ex-best friend wanted to show me pictures of her and my husband having sex last week. I thought that perhaps she felt guilty and wanted to provide me with evidence for my divorce. Of course, she wouldn't want to just show it. I was too stunned to say anything other than, "Of course, come." Will Breck be there? No, he isn't here now. Fine. And then there are some photos I don't want him to see and things I don't want him to hear. See you in a second. I was still in a daze when I straightened up a little before Scarlett approached. She asked for wine instead of coffee, even though it was Saturday morning. The first thing I noticed was her tan. Her outfit showed a lot of skin, and there were no tan lines to be seen anywhere. Her photos were on her tablet. She started with a selfie of her and another girl on a tropical beach. "Who is this?" I asked. "This is my friend Krista from college. Now she is a travel agent. She was the one who organized the entire trip. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to afford it. 5 days in a 5-star hotel on a tropical beach and men with bodies you won't believe. Girl, I have something to tell you. I'm still high, as you can probably tell." "So, were you there last week? Was there anyone else there that you knew besides Krista?" "No. Why do you ask?" "Just wondering." "Oh, I understand. Cindy, I'm sorry I couldn't invite you too. Krista was only able to take one person with her and make her company pay for it. I am expected to provide an estimate of accommodations, food, entertainment, etc. What I really want to write about is sex. It was amazing. They had a nudist beach. You'll see. I have several personal photographs as well as those that I can show publicly. So, you were out of the country for a week. I already told you about this. What? Did something happen while I was away? Yes. Someone told me that you and Breck had sex last week at the Holiday Inn in Louisville. I kicked Breck out last night. What? Cindy! How could you believe it? I flirt with him, but not more than with other men in our group. Why didn't you wait to consult me? Damn, you better kiss his ass real quick, girl. There are plenty of women who would pounce on him if he were available. Now that I think about it, it offends me that you think I can do this. I am going back home. She quickly left because she started crying. I felt dizzy. Damn. I really screwed up. That asshole George set me up. Damn him. I have to call Breck right away and get everything straightened out. I'm listening. The voice sounded as if he was both angry and depressed. Breck, honey, I just wanted you to know that I have forgiven you and want you to come home. Forgive me? What the hell have I done that I need your forgiveness? Well, I think I may have been a little hasty with what I accused you of, and I thought it would be good if we started over. All over again. You have the nerve. First of all, you accuse me of having an affair without giving me the slightest chance to dispute it. Secondly, you are kicking me out of my house. Then, God, I want to call you some nasty names. You then sent a text message to all of our friends and family telling them that you had proof that I cheated on you. Actually, I want to thank you for this. To this day, if someone asked me who I thought cared about me the most and would trust and support me no matter what, I would list my wife, my family, and a bunch of friends. After the messages I received from most of them and from what you told me, I know that now I have almost no one who truly believes in me. I couldn't believe the vile things they wrote to me. This was all based on what you told them, although a couple of them said they had had suspicions about me for some time. There is no one except my sister and a couple of friends who supported me. Thanks to you, I have nowhere to go. This coming Thanksgiving and Christmas, because my own parents believed you over me. I don't even know of a single bar or restaurant where I could show up for fear of being disgraced by my former friends. I just sent everyone you lied to about me a loud and clear email. I am no longer and will never again be your friend. Or in your case, husband. Now, as for starting all over again, I really see this as an opportunity. As soon as you receive the divorce petition from my... Divorce? Honey, there's no need for divorce. As I said, as soon as you receive the divorce papers from my lawyer, sign them. This is a simple 50-50 division of all assets. Once the divorce is finalized, we can both start over. Each of us has to start our own new life. By this time, I was already crying. Breck, I made a big mistake. Please let me make amends. I love you so much. Your words are just words. Your actions prove that your so-called love was paper thin. I'm not sure what evidence you thought you had about me cheating, but it was able to destroy any pretense of love you had in record time. You may have had some love for me, but you had no trust. Some things that are broken can be easily fixed, but trust does not apply to them. I don't know if I can ever trust you again. And you had no respect. If you respected me, you would have come to me and brought charges against me. So you had some love, but no trust and respect. This doesn't seem like a solid foundation for marriage to me. Please contact me only through my lawyer from now on. He hung up. Why did I believe so quickly? That bastard Georgia got me drunk and convinced me that he saw Breck and Scarlett go into a motel room and kiss the whole way. With all the flirting that Scarlett showed, it was easy for me to believe it. That son of a bitch George. Fixing the error. This is what I need to think about. I quickly jotted down a text to counter the original text I had sent. I admitted that I was wrong and judged Breck too quickly. I asked everyone to ignore what I sent. I promised to apologize to Breck. I was foolishly hoping that this would help. All that helped was everyone being angry at me for ruining their relationship with Breck. Now I was on their collective shit list. I tried to call Breck again. The message went to voicemail. I sent him a message. It remained unread. I sent him an email. It was also unread. I continued my efforts until I received messages that the phone number and email address were no longer in service. I found out which motel he was staying at by calling the front desk of nearby motels. After one phone call to his number, consisting of his hello and my Breck, don't hang up, he hung up. Subsequent calls went unanswered. I arrived at the motel to find out that he had checked out. I called him at work. His secretary and I had a good relationship. As soon as I called, she asked, "Cindy, what's going on?" He came this morning as if he was going to war. He told me he doesn't accept any calls from you. Ashley, I made a big mistake. We had a fight. I made him leave. So I tried to apologize, but he wouldn't let me. I just need to talk to him. I can't believe that two people who love each other so much can't figure it out. I'll tell you what. I'll work on him to try to get him to listen to you. I'll call you back. I finally had some hope. I didn't just sit back and wait. I was unable to. I was too busy receiving angry calls and texts from family and friends. The worst came from his mother. I can't believe we thought you were telling the truth when you said you had proof he cheated. We loved you like a daughter. Now we may have lost our only son. I hope there is a special place in hell for you. I may be risking my own salvation by saying this, but that's how I feel. When the day ended and Ashley still hadn't called, I called her back. She whispered, "I tried to talk to him. He bit my head off. He told me that if I mentioned your name again, he would fire me. I could barely keep him from putting the reprimand on my personal file. Please don't call here again." I was sitting at home a week after Scarlett's visit. There was a knock on the door. I looked back and saw a familiar brown truck and a young man in a brown uniform. He had a bag and a large notebook. "I have a package for Cindy Barnes." "Yes, Cindy Barnes. I need you to sign for this, but the rules say I need to see some form of identification to prove you are who you say you are." "Sorry, but these are the rules." I went to get my purse and showed him my driver's license. After signing for the parcel, I heard the man say, "You have been served." He cheerfully walked up to the truck, took off the UPS magnetic sign, and laughed. I swear I heard him say, "I fool them every time." The situation was getting out of control. I should have done something else. I bought a full-page ad in the local newspaper admitting my false accusation and offering as sincere an apology as I could. I begged Breck for forgiveness. I sent flowers to his office. I bought billboards of me begging for his forgiveness after admitting it was my fault. I wasn't sure what effect my efforts would have. Then I started receiving condolence messages and emails from former friends and a lot of strangers. Apparently, I wasn't the only one who falsely accused my spouse and suffered the consequences. Out of the blue, Breck called. I surrender to Cindy. Stop the advertising campaign. It seems like you won't calm down until I sit down and talk to you. When can I come? It took me a while to gather my courage to answer. How about tomorrow evening at 6 Wow? Would you like to have dinner? Why don't I bring our favorite Thai dishes from the Smiling Elephant? Thai chicken with shrimp, right? However, the severity is third level, not the level of lava heat you like. If your eyes don't water, if there's no sweat on your forehead, and if your nose doesn't run, it's not very good Thai food. He grinned. I couldn't believe it. He called. His voice was happy. He will come. Shit. I had to prepare. I may only have one chance to save our marriage. It was the longest 24 hours I've ever spent. I put on what I hoped was Breck's favorite dress. I ordered wine for dinner. Finally, he arrived at 6:02, the longest 2 minutes in history. My body literally jumped in fright when the doorbell rang. I flew to the door. It was Breck. I was going to chide him for thinking he should ring the bell, but I wanted to keep it positive. We complimented each other on the way we looked. Most importantly, he smiled. He put the food on the table while I poured the wine. We ate our food while talking. I was surprised that I was so hungry, but we both really loved Thai food. The hot meal made us drink more wine than usual. More wine than usual helped clear the air. I decided to get to the heart of the matter. Breck, I was wrong. I think I didn't believe that someone as wonderful as you could truly love someone as flawed as me. I really missed you while you were on your business trip. When they told me you were seen entering the hotel room with Scarlett, I lost my temper. Too much alcohol didn't help, I'm afraid. I remembered how jealous I was when I saw Scarlett flirt with you. I forgot how she flirted with everyone, and she was my best friend. She wouldn't betray me. Most importantly, you wouldn't betray me. My greatest wish is that you give me a chance to atone for my mistake. Do we have a chance? Cindy, I hate to think what my blood pressure was like in the first weeks after you accused me of adultery. It took quite a long time to calm down. Your campaign to get me to forgive you and believe that you are sorry has honestly had some effect. If you can show me that I can trust you, that damn doorbell, what a lousy time. He called and called. I'll get rid of whoever it is. Do not move. I ran to the door. As I started to open the door, George burst in. Did he hurt you? Let me look at this bastard. I screamed, What the hell are you doing here, George? Get out. My husband and I are having an important conversation. Leave, now. I thought you were done with that traitor. What lies did he use to win your heart back? I'm the one you need. You told me this yourself. George, no matter what I said or did, I was drunk. I beg you, please leave before I call the police. Look, I know I lied about his affair with Scarlett, but he has other girls. I'm sure of it. What we had that night was special. We can build a new life on this. Breck spoke. You're the one who told Cindy I was having an affair? You bastard. What kind of special night are you talking about? I screamed, Don't say that, George. Please. George didn't follow instructions. He grinned as he said, Our special night included intense lovemaking. It didn't take much effort to convince her to give herself to me. She wanted it, loser. Breck took a couple of steps towards George. George stepped towards Breck and swung first. His first seemed to bounce off Breck's chin. Breck's fist broke George's nose and knocked him to the floor. Since George seemed the most injured, I rushed to him. This made Breck even more furious. I stood up to say something to Breck and he hit me. I fell. I never, ever expected my husband to hit me. This was completely out of character. I didn't cry. I helped George to his feet. I stood in front of him and kicked him in the crotch as hard as I could. Then I went to get a towel and ice for his nose. I didn't notice, but Breck called the police and asked for an ambulance. None of us said anything until the police arrived. Breck told them the truth about what happened. I wanted to deny that Breck had hit me, but I had a bruise that showed the truth. George said he'd rather press charges against both of us. Breck and I volunteered to ride in the police car. George went to the emergency room in an ambulance. We were charged. We paid the deposit and went home. We took different taxis, even though we were going to the same place. Arriving at our house, Breck drove off in his car. I returned to the starting point, trying to atone for another sin. I just couldn't give up without trying again. I thought I had a good idea. One day I showed up at Breck's workplace with about 50 friends and relatives who were also hoping to make amends. Some had signs apologizing or asking for forgiveness. I was hoping the quantity would make a difference. "Can I help you?" Ashley's greeting was brief but professional. "Yes, we'd like to see Breck Barnes, please." To my horror, she said, "Sorry, he doesn't work here anymore. Is there anyone else who can help you?" Afraid to recover from the shock, I replied, "You can direct us to someone who knows where to find him. I am not allowed to disclose such information." "I'll call Mr. Elliott." Mr. Elliott came out to meet us. He was not happy to see us. "So, this is a brigade of traitors? You bastards and bitches cost me one of my best employees. He left to get away from you. He needed to start over in a new place. If you want us to help you find it, eat crap. Now get out of here before I call security." We left. I turned to Ashley one last time. She shrugged as if to say, "I don't know." I called all the offices listed in Breck's annual report. Everyone reported that no one named Breck Barnes worked there. He either went to work for competitors, working under a contract rather than as an employee, or changed his profession. He took half of our property and left me the house as stated in the divorce papers. I signed and our divorce was final a few months later. I was thinking about using some of my money to hire a private investigator to find him. I waited, hoping that I could come up with something that would make him forgive me and believe that he could trust me. I never thought about anything other than, I promised not to do again what I promised never to do before. Not very convincing. It wasn't easy to afford to stay in the house Breck and I shared, but I couldn't bring myself to leave. I wanted him to be able to find me, just in case. I didn't have to wait long. I received an email from Scarlett. She wrote, "I'm sorry I haven't contacted you since we had an argument at your house a few months ago. I was very angry that you didn't trust me, your best friend. To think that I could commit adultery with your husband. Anyway, one day I received an email from Breck after he moved. He apologized because one of your friends got me involved in a plot to hurt him. He said that this was also unfair to me. It was so sweet. My heart just melted. Well, we started corresponding. He opened his heart to me. Finally, he invited me to visit him. As soon as we saw each other, we both knew that we were meant to be together. I am now Mrs. Scarlett Barnes, and I couldn't be happier. I can't believe you didn't trust him. Well, please thank that George guy for including me in his plot to seduce you. I would say, no offense, but that would be a lie. I will send a photo of the baby when he is born in 6 months. I was ready to move out of the house right now. Subscribe to our channel so that your second chaff doesn't cheat on you, and go ahead and listen to the next story, because this story is nothing compared to the next one. If you're under 18, don't even think about listening to the next one.